Hey guys, so in this video of the tutorial series, we're going to start activating our buttons, so creating the commands or events for those buttons. So let's get started with it. So now, first things first, we need to define the Windows dialog, so our file dialog or ARCS directory from the user. So we're going to create a private method, so we're going to put the underscore at the front, so def underscore Windows underscore dialog self. We're going to say is underscore folder equals false and only underscore text equals false. So now the reason why I'm making this private is because only the main page should have access to this method, so nothing else. So now just as an example, so Python and other languages as well, it's more explicitly mentioned, but they have public and private. So effectively what public means is that this method is accessible to everything else that has access to that object or the instance of that object. What the private modifier does is says only this particular class has access to that method or variable. So for example, if we go back to Wordsmith, open help page, there's no underscore at the front, so that means it's public. So anything that inherits from the application has access to it, and anything that has an instance of the application has access to it. But if we put an underscore at the front, then that means it's private, so that they won't have access to it. So if we go back to views, so if I had the underscore there, that means that the navbar wouldn't be able to access the open help page because it'll be private. Or at least that's what's implied to the programmers through Python. It's not like explicitly mentioned as it is in other languages. So that's why I'm doing this here. And the reason why I'm going to put the Windows dialog here is because if we click on play, oh, sorry, I need to pass. So if I run, the reason why is because these four buttons all need to open up the Windows Explorer page. So if I can have 4 buttons going through the same method, that means I'm repeating myself less. So that's why I do it through this one method. So we're going to start. So our selection is going to equal to none. So if the user doesn't choose a selection, then it's just going to be equal to none. Now, if is underscore folder, then selection is going to be equal to file dialog dot ask directory. So what this is basically saying is if it's a folder, if the method that's being used has the parameter is folder equals true, then that means you want a path. You don't want a file. Okay. Otherwise, we're going to say type 1. Let's just call this variable type 1. It's going to be equal to a tuple of all files and star.star. So that's a wildcard. So it can be any name and any file type. So that means you can select all types of files. Okay. If not only underscore text. Otherwise, so select this, if not only text. Otherwise, so if only text is true, then do this. Then it has to be a text file. So now the reason why I'm doing this is because the password file has to be a text file in our case, because that's what we're iterating over in our code. So if it's a password file, then that means that it has to be the only text. Otherwise, if you're selecting a file to crack, it can be all types of files. Okay. So now if that's the case, the selection is then going to be equal to file dialog dot ask open file name, and the initial directory is equal to /, and the title is going to be equal to select a file, select a file, and the file type is going to equal to a list of tuples, which is like just type 1. Okay. And then what we're going to do, we're just going to return that selection. Okay, so now we're going to create the first command for our buttons. So now, again, it's going to be a private method. So def underscore set underscore dictionary underscore list self. And what this is going to say is, so the selection is going to be equal to self dot underscore Windows dialog and only underscore text equals true, because this is for our dictionary list, so it has to be a text file. And then self.label underscore dic file. So the text of that particular widget is going to be equal to our selection. And what widget is this? So this is the widget above here. So if we go label dic file, label dictionary file. So this widget, this label, the text for this label is going to be equal to our selection. So that's what's going to be shown to the user through this. Okay. And def underscore set underscore extract underscore path, and self again. And here, the selection is going to be equal to self dot underscore Windows dialog is underscore folder equals true. Self dot label underscore extract destination and text. Let's put text in lowercase. I'm not sure if it matters, but let's just do that. It's going to be equal to the selection. Okay, so now we need to update those commands with this. So set dictionary list. So if we go back to our buttons, dictionary list, so this one here, we're going to put the command equal to self dot that method. So set dictionary list, and we can remove the to do from here. Okay, and then we're going to do it again. So for the extract path. Okay, and that is extract destination here. So here, command is equal to self dot and then the path. So then we can remove the to do. Okay, and then if we run that, this should work. Unless there's any errors, let's check. Okay, so now let's browse for just a random file. Okay, cool, so that worked, perfect. I have this, let's just do requirements. Perfect, so that's reflected, and then the path can be any path. So let's do this path, select folder, and the path shown. So that's worked. So these two buttons are now activated, and now we need to do these two buttons. Okay, so we're going to exit that. Now these are going to update our tree view. So to do that, again, it's going to be private. So add underscore target underscore file underscore tview. So TV for tree view, short for. What that's going to do, the path is going to be equal to self dot underscore Windows dialog. And that's fine because it's defaulted to false on both cases. So that means it's going to say all files. Okay. And then if not path, so if the user doesn't select anything, then just return none. Otherwise, row is going to be equal to file false because include subfolders. There's no subfolders in the file, so it's going to be false. And the target path is going to basically equal to the path that the user selected. And then we're going to insert that. So self.tv underscore target dot insert. So this is going to be an empty string. This is going to be end, and the values is going to equal to row. So again, I can't actually remember what these two parameters denote. But yeah, I mean, you can just check the documentation and find out. Yeah, so apologies for that. And then we're going to do the same thing for the adding the target folder. So underscore add underscore target underscore folder underscore tree view self. Okay, and then the path is going to equal to self dot underscore Windows dialog is underscore folder is going to be equal to true. So that's to stop us from reusing. So by doing this, basically, we can use the same method 4 times. So we're not repeating that bunch of code in Windows dialog 4 times or multiple times. So we can just use it once. And then if not path, then return none. And then we're going to set a variable called seek underscore subfolders. Now that's going to be equal to self dot include underscore subfolders dot get. So remember that check button we had earlier. What this is basically saying is get the value of that check button. So the button can either be true or false. And that's what this variable is going to set as, be set to whatever that check button is set as. And then the row is basically going to be equal to a list folder. We're going to stringify the boolean, so seek underscore subfolders, string, and then the path that the user chose. And then we're going to insert that into the tree view. So self.tv underscore target dot insert. And again, empty string and values equals the row. Okay, and then we're going to do one more. So that bind we had earlier, we're going to create that. So again, another private method called delete underscore tv underscore row self, and basically the event. Okay. So now the row is going to be equal to self.tv underscore target dot selection self.tv.target underscore selection, and then if there's a row that's selected, then self.tv underscore target dot delete row 0. So every single row in Tkinter has ID. So what this is saying is get that selection from that row and then delete it. So that'll delete the whole row. Okay, so then if we go back up to here, where is it? This bind here. So this is going to be equal to self dot underscore delete TV row. That's the bind, so that's going to delete the row. So then we can remove this command because we've done that. Then the other command is, let's see if we can find it. Launch button attack is not, we're not doing that for now. And then add in the files. So if we go to here, add file. So this button's command is going to be equal to self dot underscore add target file TV tree view. Okay, and then the same here. So the command is going to be equal to self dot underscore add folder, add target folder tree view. Okay, let's do that. And then we can remove our to-dos because we've done that. This should basically mean that all of our buttons are now working, except the launch one. Okay, so let's save and run. Let's hope there's no errors. Okay, so we know these two work from earlier. So now let's try the add file. Cool. So remember, this can be any type of file. So let's go back into like here. Let's click on requirements. Okay, so it's a file and include subfolders is going to be false. And because it's a file, and then there's the path to it. Cool. Let's add a folder. Let's just do test folder, for example. Select that. Cool. So folder, false, and then target path. Because include subfolders isn't ticked. So if I tick subfolders, and then I try and add that folder again, that should be true. Okay, so perfect. So all of our buttons are now activated. Cool. And that's all for this video. I believe now with everything we have here, we can start creating the actual dictionary attack with everything that we have in this GUI right now. Okay, so perfect. Yeah, so see you guys in the next one. Take care. Bye.